All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style. And today we have Miss Summar with us. How are you, Summar?
Fantastic. How are you?
I am awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to connect and share some jewels with us. Summar has a wealth of good information to share with you guys. And if you do stick around to the end, you will have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. So I encourage you to stick around and see what Summar wants to share with us today. So Summar, so we get to know a little bit about you. Can you start us off by sharing just one motivational quote that really inspires you, something that encourages you and motivates you to keep on going?
I think for me, I have to rely on my faith a little bit. So it's not so much a motivational quote, but it's something I live by, and it does give me the motivation and the inspiration and the courage to continue. And that's Proverbs 3 and 5. Well, it's probably 5 through 6, but trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, he will direct your path. And it kind of covers everything in the realm of success and kind of the uncertainty of knowing what you want to do and how to take that next step. It's just if I put my faith and my trust in the Lord, for me personally, everything is made plain and everything is done according to the plans that he has for my life. So that gives me comfort, that gives me peace, and that gives me the will and the perseverance to continue on.
Say that one more time, a little bit louder. Not everything, but just that verse again, because I think that is a verse that we all need to make sure that is at the top of our mind almost on a daily basis. So I want to make sure everybody say that one more time.
For sure. So it's Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. And it's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path.
Yes, and I think that, we all come at a crossroads sometime where I don't know what to do. Is this the right thing? And man, I thought it would be easier than this. And I think that if we learn to trust in God, we're always going to be directed on the right path. It's just a thing of just trusting the process and his timing too. Yes. I think a lot of times we're trying to rush and get to the next step when we don't need to rush. We could just focus on what we're doing right now, be present, and just know that it's working according to how it's supposed to work,
Exactly. And you do that one thing good, do it great, do it exceptional, do it with excellence, and then you can move on to the next thing. So agreed.
Yes. I think that is a lot easier said than done for all of us. So can you bring it home and talk about a personal experience where maybe you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel? You had issues with your own trust and trusting the process. And you had to overcome some obstacles, some external challenges that you didn't expect. But at the end of the day, you were able to bring that goal or that dream to fruition.
So there is one currently in progress right now that has required a lot of trust, a lot of patience, a lot of what you just said, trusting the process. I think a lot of times we get an idea or something we want to do, and then to see it through takes a little bit of guts, a little bit of courage, and a little bit of my mom's stick-to-itiveness, to stick with it, to see it, through its course or whatever. And so stepping out on my own and being in e-commerce and being in developing a mentorship program and developing a way to develop an asset so that I can teach people how to actually let that asset pay off debt, take care of things they want to take care of, and also retire young. And so that whole body of work, not so much on my own, but a lot of it has been on my own, putting it together, working with a team of people. And that's the second piece, is having a group of people that you trust and that you can work with and that you seek out yourself. And, nothing is done by yourself. Nothing great is ever accomplished just with you. It's always with collaboration. It's always with partnership. And finding the right partners is a huge thing. And I know it's not always easy. And it does take time to find quality people, to find good people with a good heart who bought into the vision and to see the same results for themselves and in their lives. So I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust the process, and I fell flat on my face several times. And it's hard. It's a learning experience. It's definitely learning, but I wanted to succeed and I wanted to move forward. And so my will to succeed and my drive to succeed is what overpowers the fear of failure and the fear of not getting it right and the fear of what could. So I still have those thoughts, but I really focus more on the positive, the good, the optimism, what's happening, what could happen, and who's counting on me. And I think who's counting on me, not just in this present moment, but for future generations to come, that really drives me. And when it gets really hard, when it gets really tough, and it really gets like, I don't know what's going to happen. Knowing that the future generation that I'm doing this for now, they're going to need, excuse me, they're going to need what I'm doing. And they're going to need me to do it and get it done so that they can not just, I have a good friend, she says, not so that we can stand at the feet, but they can stand on my shoulders. And I think that our community and at large, as women, entrepreneurship minorities, that whole community, just realizing that we have to leave something for the future generation and not leave them with debt and amount of other things. So I don't know. Completely answer the whole question.
I love everything that you said. And one of the things that really stood out is the fact that you can't do it all alone. You're going to have partnerships, and having the right partnerships and people to help support you is key so that you can see that vision quicker than you're spending a lot of time with the wrong people and taking 3 times as long to accomplish it, because you all are trying to be, as they say, everybody trying to be chief, you know? So being able to seek out the right people to collaborate with, I think is very key. Can you talk a little bit about support though? Because a lot of times people feel like they don't have the support that they need in order to accomplish their dreams. And it might be that they have a lot of clarity around their dream, but they don't know where to turn to seek out that support. So what are some ways where people that feel like they're lacking in that area can find a group of like-minded people to help support them?
So one of the things that, I was at a tech event last night, minority tech group here in Orlando. And one of the themes that I kept hearing was, I would love to do this, but, I don't have resources. I don't have this, I don't have that. And at the end, I was just like, we are all here together. Why don't some of you collaborate together? And I think sometimes people have an idea, they have something they want to do, and it's their baby, and they want to be the ones to be out front with it. But you gotta kind of sometimes take a step back, because if you're not moving forward with it, and say, you know what, who does this reach? Who would be interested in this? And who do I know that I could potentially partner with to figure out to move things forward and be okay with the partnership? So that's the first piece, being okay with having a partner with somebody to get your idea, to get your business, to get your thing going. And then finding a support group. When we were growing up, the internet was just coming in, so people were doing a lot of stuff, word of mouth, and we're not that old people. But it's the thing, it wasn't like you didn't go on the internet to find anything. But now people use the internet to do everything. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. And I think that groups and Googling and looking for that group, looking for a like-minded group of people, is probably one click away. Putting it in your city. There are different meetup groups, there are different organizations, and you have to start putting yourself out there with the N word that nobody likes, networking. You have to network to kind of move things along, because no, you don't know everything, and no, you don't know everybody, but you may meet someone who knows someone who knows someone that can put you in contact with the perfect partner and the perfect group of like-minded people that can help you move your idea forward. And I just say, use the internet. Go by your city, use the meetup, use the networking events, use all of those things to find the thing that you're doing. And there are probably people talking about it, but maybe they don't want to execute it. Maybe they want to help someone else execute it. And that's where collaboration and partnership come from. And that's where support comes from. But sometimes you have to go seek it. You know, it's not just going to come to you and fall in your lap and be like, hey, I'm amazing, I want to help you. You got to go out there and get it. You know, you got to go out there and get it. And I think a lot of times people, that's where the perseverance kind of is a little shaky for some people, because you have to go out there and get it. You always tell people, you know, the first 2 words in God is go. So you got to go. You gotta go and go out there and put yourself out there and be willing to put yourself out there. And also know that on the flip side, something great is gonna happen. If you go out there negative and thinking that nothing is gonna happen, oh, this might be a waste of my time, I don't know why I'm doing this. Well, you're gonna get what you're thinking about. And I think people think it's some hocus pocus kind of stuff, but it really is whatever you put out into the atmosphere and into the universe, you're gonna get it back. I mean, it's a law of sowing and reaping. So you sow good seeds, you get good seeds back. You sow not so good seeds, you're gonna get not so good harvest. So go out there with the intention of, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna meet someone. Someone's gonna come into my path. This is gonna be worth my time and effort. And believe that.
Yeah.
And then it'll happen.
Yeah.
It might not happen the first day, but it will happen. But also, you can't plant a seed and then dig it up with your words. So you can't plant a good seed and then say, you know what, I knew it was a waste. I don't even know why I did that. That was a waste of time and money. Because a farmer doesn't plant corn not expecting to reap corn. You know, like it's so simple. And I'm only talking about it because I overcame it myself. Like, they don't plant things believing they're not gonna get a harvest.
Right.
They plant things knowing 100% sure that fruit, that vegetable's gonna rise up. And so we have to plant that. We're not necessarily farming physically, but we're farming our minds, and we're farming with our words.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for that analogy. That is awesome. And I think that even with a farmer, they know that when they plant the seed, it's not going to produce fruit tomorrow. There's a season for it. And I think that sometimes we get so hung up on, oh man, you know, I went to this event, I networked, and I met all these people, but you know, it's been 3 days and nothing's really happening yet, you know? So I believe that a part of it is just giving things time, you know? And if we take consistent steps to network and put ourselves out there, and we're consistently doing it all the time, you're going to see the results.
Absolutely. Consistency is key. And sometimes we all get a little, you know, inconsistent, especially with like dieting and things like that. But consistency is key, and being in a consistent motion toward networking, toward partnership, and toward executing that goal or dream is definitely 100% accurate. I agree. Yes.
Yeah. And there'll be times where you feel like, you need to take a little rest or break away, and that's natural and normal. But the thing is to get right back on board. That's really all it's about.
It shouldn't be 2 weeks, maybe like a few days, but don't take a month off.
Right. Yeah. That's a whole different scenario. I mean, I guess unless, you know, everybody in your family just died, you know. I mean, we understand tragedy, but
sometimes you just had a baby. Things like that. Major.
That's different. Sometimes we just don't do things just because we don't feel like it. So nobody should not feel like it for a month just because. Talk a little bit about the relationship between self-care and realizing your goals and your vision, because we do know that not everybody approaches self-care the same exact way, but it is important for our minds and to revitalize ourselves sometimes. So maybe talk about some self-care methods that you've used before, or something that you would encourage somebody, and how it kind of helps you to be able to bring your goals to fruition.
So just so everybody knows, Ebony's asking a really difficult question. I'm just kidding. But they're very, this is like the best stuff ever, because self-care will make or break a goal. Like, self-care will make or break you. And if you're the one pursuing what you're doing, and you have, as women, mothers, wives, sisters, whatever, daughters, whatever, career women, whatever, you have to take time for you. Like it's a part of refresh, renew, replenish. Like you have to do that, and it may look differently. Like some of my friends, they love the beach. You know, they love to go just lay by the water and just have that calming moment. That's not my favorite thing to do, but I do like the beach. For me personally, it's probably shopping, which is not a good one because it can get expensive. But I like the thrill of it. I like the release the stress, and I'm carefree when I'm doing it. Another thing I like to do is just get a good book and just like chill. Maybe watch some movies, listen to music, and I just take an hour to, it could be half a day sometimes, and I'm just listening to maybe things from like the 80s and the 90s. It's just, it doesn't have to be like I went on a spa vacation, I went to Napa Valley. Like it doesn't have to be those major things, although those are great. Those are good things as well. But if it's just kind of a week to week, I just grabbed a cup of coffee and I just sat on my balcony, or I just laid in bed for a few hours. I got everybody off to school, whatever I had to do, and I just took a moment for myself. I took a mental health day. And right. I think that we don't do it enough. It's not encouraged enough. And then you feel like maybe like you're a failure, something is wrong with you, that you need that. And that is totally misguided. That is totally false. And you need to take time, figure out what you like to do. If it's painting, if it's adult coloring, if it's, you know, whatever it is, a glass of wine, whatever you need to do to relax and take a moment for you without everyone else around, you figure that out and do that. And I 100% encourage it. And I encourage people to find out what they like to do, because it may not be what your girlfriends and your sister or your mom and them like to do. It may be something completely different, and that's okay too. No one can tell you what you need to do for self-care. Yeah. We can only suggest things, but you have to ultimately try a couple things out and figure out what works best for you. And it's okay. If you don't hear anything else from today, it is okay to take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who else will? And then you're no good for other people. You're no good for your kids. You're no good for your husband. You're no good for your friends. You're no good for your colleagues, your coworkers. So, and you're no good for your project you're working on. Like if you're completely burnt out. So you have to take that time, and maybe once a week, and maybe every 2 weeks, and maybe once a month, whatever the frequency is for you. I don't think I'm here at liberty to tell you what that is. You just need to do it for you. But I think it's part of the refreshness of what you need to do, and you can look at it now, refreshed, renewed, rested, whatever it is, and tackle it the next day.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes if you don't take that time for yourself, then you'll be bringing people into your world to visit you in the hospital because you're sick and ill. You can't take care of yourself. Right. So I think that it benefits everybody for you to make sure that you're giving yourself the right type of care. And that looks different for everybody. For somebody, it might be going to the gym every day. For somebody else, it might be, I'm just going to go plant some flowers. Somebody else, it might be, I'm just going to go and take a swim or a walk. You know, it's different for everybody. And I think that once you figure out what that thing is for you, if you can spend, depending on, you know, your living environment, your geographical location, if you can spend about 10 to 15 minutes a day doing that thing, a lot of times you feel a better sense of fulfillment and purpose after a long day. Because I have a lot of people that will say things like, you know, I work a 40-hour-a-week job. Sometimes it's 50 hours a week, and then I come home and I take care of the aging parent or my spouse or my kids, and I'm exhausted. But then once they start doing that thing that really makes them feel good, and as I said, that could be something as simple as coloring in a coloring book, painting a picture, you know, whatever it is for you, they tend to feel better about life. So finding out what those things are and doing it on a ongoing basis, I think makes a lot of people actually feel like, okay, I'm not always just doing for everybody else. I am important in this world too.
Absolutely. That is 100% correct. I like it. 10 to 15 minutes a day. I think that's perfect. And I think that once you start doing that and figuring out what it is, you'll tend to see things just kind of you feel better, and therefore the things in your life start moving along better. And I 100% agree.
Yes. Is there anything else that you want to share with us today before we end? And for all of you that are listening, thank you so much for listening toward the end. If you stuck around this long, don't forget I said that you get an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. And for those of you that don't have a pen, it's okay. In the description box, there is the link to my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. I suggest that if you're finding difficulty with finding out what your true gifts and personality are so that you can also live out your core life purpose and realize your dreams and just want support, visit me at that link and I will give you a complimentary assessment to be able to refocus in on what lights you up. Summar, what else do you want to share with us before we end that you feel could benefit people that are listening?
One is just to set a goal, create a plan for it, seek mentorship, seek guidance, and seek collaboration and partnership. One of the things that I wrote down earlier when I was just thinking about it is, a friend of mine said this, and it has stuck with me for a while. It said, effort and courage are not enough without direction and purpose. And so having that purpose, having that direction, coupled and partnered with your effort and your courage will set everything in motion for you. So I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see everyone realize their potential and actually follow their dreams with excellence and purpose. And I think that knowing to have that support group, knowing and having that support group is vital, and to really find that for yourself. So above anything, find people that are like-minded, that believe in you and believe in what you want to do so that you can move forward in your gifts.
Yes, and Summar is very welcome to anyone that wants to collaborate with her as well. And all her contact info is in the description box as well. I encourage you to seek out people like her and I that are welcoming and supportive and actually enjoy networking. I always believe that we can get more done as a team than our own individual efforts. And as you've listened to Summar, she's also like mine. So if there's anything that you feel like either one of us can help you with in support of your dreams, reach out to us and we would love to help you.
Absolutely.
Any of you that are listening that feels like you can also be able to be a light to someone else, feel free to contact me and I would love to interview you as well on one of my future episodes, because we all need each other. And I believe that many times we feel like we're all alone in our situations, when in all actuality, we're all going through very similar things a lot of times. So if you want to share experiences from your life, success stories, failures, challenges, contact me. I would love to interview you on one of my next episodes. Summar, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And
thank you so much.
And I would love it if you guys share this out with your family and friends. I know that they can seek a lot of value from this. And remember, no matter where you are listening in this world, always remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll talk to you guys on our next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Summar. I appreciate you again.